And we're gonna put another song right here. This is the big single, "Beer's Better on a Boat" with you and Clay. Tell us a little bit about this song.
Man, this song was written at the same writer's retreat as Over Missing You. And I had picked kind of some younger guys, if you will, to come in. And I was like, man, let's just pick some of these younger guys, invest a little bit of time in them, give them some tools out of our toolbox. And so I told Clay, I said, hey, you got one job, bring a good idea. And so Clay showed up with one idea. And he said, I think when he walked in the room, he said, beer's colder on a boat.
Hmm.
And me and Scott were like, no, it ain't. And he said, yeah, it's colder on a boat. I said, no. I said, man, I buried phone line for 16 years. I said, you dig into the bottom of a Yeti cooler that's a slushy, and it's 110 degrees out there, and you done been buried 2,000 foot of phone line by hand that day, and you reach in there and you pull the last Shiner Bock beer out of there. That's cold. And he goes, all right. I said, when Scott goes, man, it's better on a boat. And so
there he is again, knowing what to say.
Yeah, well, he's just him and Helene have done this so long.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're already to the end of the song a lot of times, and they've already went through some roadblocks that, and they know how to get through roadblocks, and they know to go, hey, man, this word right here is messing up everything. Let's go back and change the rhyme scheme right here.
Yeah, what a gift.
They've just got some tools in their toolbox. So, try not to battle in the room, and let the people that know more about what you're doing sometimes kind of have the right of way. But man, we got on that song in the Clay, I had this line that I was working on, and Helene was working on it with me. Boy, she was on it. She loved the line, and I said, man, we used to get somebody's flat bottom boat, a John boat. We'd carry a John boat on our head, and somebody'd be carrying a trolling motor, and somebody'd be carrying a battery. And we would go jump fences and get in people's ponds and fish all day with a borrowed John boat. We'd take a battery out of somebody's dad's tractor, and somebody snagged somebody's trolling motor off the wall, right? And Clay looked at me like a cow looking at a new gate, and he was like, what? Y'all did that? And I'm like, yeah, man, we did that. I said, you lived a sheltered life. I said, take a leaky flat bottom as long as it floats, because beer's better on a boat.
Wow.
And Clay was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if people are going to take a leaky flat bottom. And I was like, man, we had to have a coffee can in our boat because we had pale water every once in a while.
Yeah.
Still fishing. And man, I think it was about, I don't know, man, probably 6 months later, it came to me, and I said, man, if we're trying to reach from 9 to 90, we want to be from the poor to the rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it became take a yacht or flat bottom as long as it floats, because beer's better on a boat.
Wow.
And I played it in Cabo year before last, and Clay looked at me and he goes, you fixed it. And I said, I fixed what? He goes, you fixed the line about the leaky flat bottom. I was like, oh yeah. And so, man, when Clay found out that I had fixed that line, he goes, I want to cut that song. And I said, man, absolutely, cut it. And so he goes, I want you to sing on it with me. And I said, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And so, man, I call Clay the mayor of Port A, man. He had so many connections in Port A. Everybody loves Clay down there. And he got us a yacht. He got us the other little boat that we were fishing off of for our video. And, man, we got a budget to do that music video. And, Brian came in and produced the video for us that was just stupid good. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like the old Alan Jackson, video. It was just right on the verge of that.
That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, I was
on a small budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, man, that song got more traction for us last year than anything else. And it got us more nominations. I think we got like 5 nominations or something in the Texas Music Awards off that show. And again, it's not about winning. It's about just having your name circle that room. So
people
we felt,
noticing, right? Just people noticing.
Yeah. We weren't there to win. We were there to, we got beat by Wade Bowen, so it was like, you got.
Yeah, that's tough, right? Tough.
Okay.
That's tough. Yeah.
And so we lost to Wade Bowen a couple of times, I think, with those nominations, and I think we lost to Jamie Richards and man, I'm drawing a blank on the young lady's name, but we lost to some great folks. Like, how do you, one of our songs got beat. We were trying to get a cut with with the song called "You Had to Be There" this year, and Cody loved the song, but we got beat out by Alan Shamblin, who wrote "The House That Built Me."
I love
right?
Alan Shamblin. Oh my gosh, yes.
I was like, we lost to Alan Shamblin.
That's tough.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win. To have your song go up against Alan Shamblin songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We lost to Alan Shamblin.
Runner up is good in that case. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
man, we're excited to show this live version of Beers Better on a Boat, live from Vegas. Jesse, again, thanks for letting us share these songs with folks out there. Y'all
absolutely.
check it out.
Drink it anywhere, but if you ask me, beer's better on a boat, better on the water, better with some fishing poles made and a bottle. Set the otter flat bottom, as long as she floats. Beer's better on a boat. Well, long necks, tall boys, and all of my friends headed down to Vegas for a 3-day bend. Gonna empty that Yeti just as fast as we can. Get stopped at the dock, fill her up again. Beer's better on a boat, better on the water, better with some fishing poles made and a bobber. Set me on her flat bottom, as long as she floats. Beer's better on a boat. Beer's better on a boat. Beer's better on the water. Beer's better on a boat. Pretty cold too. Beer's better on the water. Beer's better.